What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at our man Brolin. If you want cheap and reliable coins, go over to U7Buy in the description. Look at all the coins, go to your purchase, and before you hit checkout, make sure you use the discount code JT11. Use the code and you should get 5% off all of your FIFA 23 coins. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at this 87 Swedish striker. He's a relatively high price one, 252,000 coins at the moment, as we were very lucky in that 87 max hero upgrade. This is the main account's hero, and very happy with the choice, not only because I haven't actually done a review on him, which I've done pretty much most of them now. I've definitely got to step up for this guy. He is a 4-star, 3-star, like I say, coming in at 250, one of the better guys that you can actually get from that. We've played one game so far, so hopefully we are going to increase them stats for you. We've obviously got the 2 assists, which is always nice, and a rage quit. Again, can't argue there. He's 5'9" with a high. Unfortunately, he isn't actually lengthy, which again, with FIFA nowadays is the be-all and end-all at this point, which is a shame. But hopefully that will either equal itself out. There might be a patch or something, because then it will make players that are not necessarily lengthy, and probably the opposite. For instance, this guy is going to be explosive unless you whack that architect, which is a massive shame. If I was not going to increase any of the pace, any of the dribbling, I think that would kind of be the byproduct of it. He has alternative positions. You've got cam, centre forward, right wing, and obviously the striker, which is the standard. Again, very nice to have these alternative. I think they're probably one of my favorite things, actually, because now we don't necessarily even need the chemistry, but we can now move players into totally different positions rather than going for striker to CDM, which had the most from CDM, CM, cam, striker, center forward. Now we can move him onto the right if we need. If we don't necessarily have a solid right wing, a solid cam in the main team, we can actually move this guy. That is absolute big dubs for me. In terms of the traits, unfortunately, he doesn't have any. Hero profile, moved around a few teams. A little bit before my time, 91, 90s, 2s. I don't know when he personally started, so feel free to comment down if you've watched him play, if you've seen him play, or just at least know anything about this guy. And now we move on to the stats. So 87 pace, 88 shooting, 83, 90. They are going to be predominantly the ones we look at. We know he's not necessarily got the physicality. Heading wise is okay, nothing too crazy. We've got a decent amount of stamina, really. This is why I kind of like him with a second striker up top, which will show you the team in 1 second. But I think having the 80 stamina at the minimum right now is okay, because I'm not necessarily fully focused on going with Brolin up front. I've got Mbappe next to him, and it just levers that kind of little bit of work off him as well, because Mbappe is Mbappe, but having that second striker does make sure that you're getting balanced runs. It's not just Brolin, basically. And in terms of a chem style, we're going to go for that engine. I think shooting wise, we've got 87 finishing, 91 shot power, 86 position. It's not bad. Yes, you could go more. People have gone with a hunter with this guy, but I feel like definitely going for that engine, getting the pace upgrade, getting a bit more on that dribbling, as well as a little bit more passing, might be more beneficial. Again, we've only played one so far. We're going to try and get a couple of games in now for you, and we can kind of make our minds up if we prefer the engine, or the counterpart is going all out for that hunter, which would give him 95 pace, 93 shooting. Again, turns him into a little bit of a beast, but we'll see how that goes. And in terms of the team, we play in a standard, a traditional 4-4-2. Well, we've obviously got Sterling on the left. We do swap these two wingers round to obviously have their stronger foot each side. We then have the big boys in Tuchemeni, Kessie in the middle, and Brolin and Mbappe up top, just to add that little bit of extra. In terms of the tactics with him, we have pretty standard. We have stay forward, get in behind. I do it on normally both of my strikers. If I've got more of a target man, I will tend to have him kind of come forward, or at least maybe stay on, I think it's mixed attack, and then I have Mbappe going behind. But because both of them relatively quick, none of them are lengthy, we want to get in behind. We want to make sure that we've got enough space to make sure that they can get that run. I think Mbappe is controlled. Brolin in this will be explosive, so really we need him to get that burst and then pass it out. So we'll jump into it, see how it goes. Hopefully get some dubs for you. Right then, let's start him off then. We're going to play him like we've not played with him before. I always like this sort of striker. He's genuinely quite a nice player on the ball and off, which is always solid. Very easy to normally kind of pick out the pass for him, and he does make movements left, right, and center. As we see him here, we can see him already shifting himself. He's looking for the ball, but obviously this guy's definitely got a back line that you got to watch. You can see Mbappe already making that run because we're on this side. Brolin hopefully will start making them runs as well. You can see him getting into position, but it sometimes doesn't necessarily work if you've got a guy that looks like he's probably playing a little bit of a drop back. Mbappe's getting the ball there. We're going to try and ping into Brolin. We might have to change it for one of them to at least come back, and we'll see how that goes in the next, say, 20 minutes. As we get it to Brolin now, he's going to turn, give that to Mbappe, and that's why Marquinhos is worth his money. Brolin over the top, get in behind, get the volley. It's a little bit past the post, that one. Into Brolin, looking for something. He's getting absolutely swamped by players at the moment. He has literally got every man and his dog on defending, which just makes so much more tricky to get forward. You kind of need a little bit of an inspiration run. That is where Mbappe might kind of help out with obviously that creative passing, as well as just being a general very, very top-end player. Into Brolin's feet. Can we get a little shimmy? Go across goal this time, and it's a solid save from Donnarumma. Straight into Brolin on that counter. We're looking for the Mbappe. He's trying to feed himself through the middle, which is always going to be difficult. He goes over the top. Can he get the little... He gets the little dink, but Akanji's going to be there very, very easily to wind that off the line. Oh, it's a solid ball. Looking back, he's literally nowhere. We've tried to roll it. The panic really set in, and that is where just composure of the player really is going to be the matter of kind of everything there. We definitely had it through. We panicked not thinking we could have done, but that is where pros and non-pros really make their headlines. Oh, he's straight through. He's straight through. Get the battle. Strength-wise is just, again, very, very poor end. We will find some more shooting clips here. We're having definitely a rough time with this guy's abilities. We get the little turn, gets the shot. Donnarumma doing massive things again. That's where we want him. Playing off the other striker. That, again, will be where almost Brolin's explosiveness will kind of help. Donnarumma, though, he's been absolutely sensational for this guy. Maybe a finesse. That's a solid ball from Brolin. It's an easy finish from Mbappe. Finally, some goal contributions going on. It's lovely teamwork, and why I always do prefer sometimes, especially if we don't have that lengthy player, to have that second teammate with him. Brolin through the middle, get the first good touch. It's where the explosive part really does pay its factors. I think that is going to be almost the downfall of a lot of these strikers, is just purely going against centre-backs that have nothing but lengthy. Gone through. Got to be a left foot. Finally, we get a goal with him. That standard, pretty nice in front of goal. You're kind of gifting it to him, really. I think you could have probably given it to most people. We see him in front there. Can we go for the near post? Did we get a bit of slight knock on the end there, ref? Finds it into Brolin. Looking for it again. Lloris, a little bit better this time. Finding it hard to find that little bit of space just to give it that good old whack. He's finding it at the feet and having to take the shot almost instantaneously, mainly because he just doesn't have enough space to go through. Finding Brolin again. It's kind of like these positions here where I don't really want him on the ball, because I know full well he can't just dilly-dally around everybody. We're going to try probably something that I wouldn't normally go forward, go for the assist. But he's pretty much very, very difficult to get going purely from that explosive work rate, really. And that's the only problem with this sort of lengthy meta, is it almost renders anybody who's not lengthy not as usable as they should be. Brolin, probably on the old gen, feels incredible. Definitely whack a hunter on him. His pace is going to be insane. His shooting's going to be nice. He's not going to be relying on Benzema or Harry Kane to go front on goal for you. And that is the biggest problem we're going to have with a lot of these players. Because let's face it, not everybody is lengthy in this game. Apart from maybe centre-backs. Oh, I weren't paying attention. Ball into Brolin. What can we find from him? He's going to look for that Mbappe ball. Varane's going to clear it up nicely. Brolin tries to win it back there. He is giving it his good go, but like I say, in terms of the runs forward, it's making it virtually impossible unless I can physically get it in the box and hand gift him the goal. It's almost like he's just an assist merchant. Maybe a little bit of a sprint pass, little bit of a sprint pass. If he's in the box at the right time, he gets the goal. Oh, it's a good first touch. Get the left foot across. Not necessarily got the weak foot, and he's not going to get it before Lloris gets back up. gets him through, and again, this is the perfect example. I'm not really selling him in this, and to be honest, I thought he was a hell of a lot better. I think if you were in old gen, you'd absolutely be laughing at a Brolin, and that is a shame that is the case, because I think a lot of people, if this is not fixed, will just be going back to old gen. Not even necessarily that the gameplay is bad, it's just that it's just that is the natural consequence. If you're not going to give players the ability, we've got 2 top-end strikers here, and just because we've got a different accelerate, they are rendered not useless, but a lot debuffed than just putting a Haaland up front. That's a cracking option. He's got to go for it. Alisson with a big save, and it's them sort of moments where Brolin's not going to have that many shots from kind of like running through. We need him to be burying them chances. Gotta be. That's where we want him. Finally, a goal from him again. Good header from Phillips into Brolin. He's going to look for a little dink into Mbappe. It's, again, not enough, but we're getting a bit more from this game. Definitely a little bit inconsistent in terms of what we're going against, but I think, again, gameplay always matters on what division you're in, who you're against. You may be going against an elite player that is in Division 3, Division 4. That's just natural ranking sort of stuff. So going into the overall form then, a little bit disheartening compared to what I thought was going to go down with him. I thought, looking at him, he should be pretty good. And I can imagine all of you non-new gens are going to pretty much love this card. He's got everything you need. The 4-star skills. Weak foot, again, 3-star. Could definitely do with a little bit better, but it's workable. The high work rate is, at least it's high at the start. We've got good pace, good shooting, obviously. The passing, the dribbling. I would say maybe, I think Hunter could be the move for him. I think that potentially has the rights to do it. Because he's going to be in the main team anyway. And this is the problem. I'm going for Brolin versus the previous striker that he went against. Squad battles, obviously, for the 500 games. But Nunez was doing absolute wonders for me. This is not an expensive card. He's first owner untradeable. He is about 1,000, 2,000 coins as a max. Yes, he's got a one to watch that can go up, but isn't at the moment. For me, if I'm having more goals and success just purely for the fact that this card is lengthy and this is not, that is going to be an issue going forward. I think most players in this team, I would say Virgil, Varane, Tchouaméni, Kessie, and the right mid are all lengthy. We've then got Terrier on the bench who is, and then I think that's about it. We have played with Haaland on the second account who is absolutely insane, but this is going to be the biggest issue, and hopefully they do. It's not even needing a nerf, because I think in terms of strikers, it does well. When we've got Haaland, it gives him a chance against the centre-backs. It is the fact that the centre-backs run absolute rings around Brolin. I think the strength, if he had a little bit more, might help a little bit. But again, I just don't think it's going to work unless you change your game plan massively. I think if this guy is not going to just be able to even run through a slight bit, you may as well just have him in that cam role, because he's still got the passing. The engine would provide a bit more on that, but it just means that he won't be able to really go through on goal. And again, it might be that the explosive roles and the controlled roles sit in the middle. They play the parts to your Nunez's, to your Haalands. And again, that is a little bit of a sad point to it. And I'm finding it harder and harder as I'm going up the ranks to almost experiment with teams, because it has to be full on lengthy. They've got Koulibaly, Koyunde, they've got Varane, Virgil, Kimpembe, Marquinhos, all lengthy centre-backs. And that is it. So you really even need to have the Mbappes, who normally does pretty well. Again, there's some squad battles in there, but he was pretty much positive for his rating, which you can imagine. He's a couple of mil coins. You're going to have players like that. Same with the likes of R9. Not lengthy, guarantees still an absolute baller. But when it comes to the lower sort of strikers, that might be the issue. And it is a shame to see that. We did try a fair few games to see if it was just maybe the opponents. Might be the time of night. It might be that I just came up against players that are just way out of my level that just didn't work with this card. And we will post in a future update, Heroes View, maybe even on the stories or on the community tab, if you want to subscribe to kind of get the updates on him, because he is pretty much staying in the main team unless in the next, say, couple of games he just doesn't do anything. We'll just have to go back to Nunez. I think that is going to be the sad point of it, that I could see a lot of people going back to the old gen to use some of these cards. Otherwise, they are just rendered as an SBC fodder. But hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully we got everything down to a T for you. I did I hoped we would have got a lot more for you, but we've tried a fair few matches and it's just not happening. And the more I try it, I think the more it's going to get more pressured and we'll end up being recording for about an hour or so. Overall, I still want to stay positive with him. He looks a good striker, and there's a reason why he's 250. Even if he is hard to pack, and that is kind of the point of why he's more expensive. He would have been 100k if he wasn't that good. So let me know down below if you've got him and what look you're having. And also let me know if you're old gen or new gen. If you did enjoy this, make sure you do check out the videos on the left-hand side. They have been chosen for you. Bar from that, I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.